Live from the studio complex in Baltimore, Maryland, you're listening to InfoWarlocks with Sam Kelly. There's a war on for your magic.
Yes, thank you guys. This is InfoWarlocks, producer Jimmy Solesky. We have guest Kandace Saunders on. Yes,
thank you. Woo woo.
Her comedy career is going way too well to be associated with this degeneracy, but I'm super excited to have her here.
That's all you're associated with when you do comedy is degeneracy.
Yes,
and horrible people like just
That's okay. That's exactly why people, when they say like about how comedians are toxic or when they try to police other people's jokes, I'm like, you realize we're all kind of like horrible people in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, or not necessarily. I trust people more who talk about the real shit,
right,
than the people who like dance around it or try to act like they have a moral message.
Do you know how many people said something about me saying nigger in my bit, and they were later accused of being a little too handsy? Like, don't say nigger, but it's okay. Grab her ass. Yeah, do that. Do that,
my God.
Yeah, it's like I said nigger because I'm black and I can.
Yes,
it's one of those things that you just fucking can. So like, do it.
Right.
Do it a lot.
Exactly.
Especially if it like applies to the situation. Do it a lot.
Exactly. Right. And they're saying they're trying to control like what you can say.
Was it black people that had a problem with it?
No.
Oh my God.
It was this girl. Okay. This one girl in particular, she just thought she'd been doing comedy for like 2 years. And she's like, if you took the N-word out of the spirit joke, it would hit ever. I've been doing comedy 17 years.
Yeah.
Stay over there.
Exactly.
Okay. Don't try to police my shit. She wrote all my jokes down and all the hits and like where it hit and handed it to me after a show.
Oh my
unsolicited. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's where we're at.
I'm
trying to retire from comedy in 3 years, honestly. I'm just put in my 20.
Yeah, you get your pension. You get your pension from some of those at that point.
I can't.
No, please don't say that's true. I mean, it's okay to like take a break and stuff.
I know. I would never put it out there like, hey guys, I'm quitting. And then show up like certain people did. Like, didn't you quit last week? Why are you on the show now?
Right.
Yeah, no. You just kind of stop and come back when you want. Because comedy is like a drug. Like, I've been clean from comedy.
And then you
for
relapse.
5 years. And now, I got to talk about this. I got to do it. So,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I stopped doing it for like 4 years in my last relationship when I moved to fucking bumfuck nowhere.
Are you out there now still, or
no?
You're in Baltimore.
Yeah, Glen Burnie,
okay.
the taint of Baltimore. I guess Dundalk is the armpit of Maryland. Is Glen Burnie like the taint? I don't know.
Glen Dirty.
Glen Dirty, yeah.
No, the white trash triangle is Essex, Middle River, and Dundalk.
Yes.
And then Glen Burnie's just Glen Dirty. That's a whole nother county.
Fuck
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's funny how tragedy or something in your life will often bring you back to that. But
Yeah.
But yeah, like so you're getting ready to like film a special?
I'm trying to. Like, we're working out the logistics, so hopefully soon. Yeah.
Is this your first one?
Yeah. I actually put a DVD out when I was hosting with Pablo back in like 2010 and 11.
Nice.
And I was like a host giving a 15-minute shitty video. And we would like burn the DVDs in the hotel room, go get the printouts of the cover from Staples, and I sold them shits for $20 and people bought them. So like,
hell yeah.
I have that. But for me, it was like, I need to be ready. And this is it. Like, you always kind of shoot your special as if this is the only one you're ever going to do. Mm-hmm. You don't want to think, I'm going to have 2, 3 more. No, because you could, but no one's going to recognize them. They may not be good, So like, this for me is going to be great. I'm actually going to get it pressed onto a record for my personal narcissism.
Yes. No, that's not
wall.
narcissism. It's like an account of like your great work, of like your alchemy.
And then just listen to it next to Red Frocks, and some people be like, you're not on that level. I'm like, I think I am.
Fuck that. That's like, seriously, that's awesome. And right, it's called a special for a reason.
Right, but so many people are doing them that they're not specials. They're just film sets that you put on YouTube, really.
Right.
It's like, I have to do something to stand out.
Yes, that's beautiful. No, I love that. Like, and you're right. Like, that's like, I just remember back in the day, like, when your favorite comic would put out like a special, it was fucking rock and roll. It just like it felt. I used to get chills at like when watching something.
And now
it's
it's like,
an experience.
here's my special on DVD. I'm like, someone just walked in front of your iPhone and you left that in. You didn't even edit it or do anything. Wow, okay. Special. Used to be a special was something that someone else paid for. Like if you're paying for it yourself, it's not really special. It's more like I just went all in on this set and paid for it.
Right.
And it's done now. And that's where we're at, though. As comedians, we got to move with the times. So.
Well, 17 years is a respectable amount of time to go, because a lot of, like you're saying, a lot of comics will do like, they'll have been doing it for like 1 or 2 years and then drop a special. And it's like, are you really at a place that you're ready for a special,
Right.
And are you running back like 17 years worth of material? No. Okay.
No, it's just how I've learned to deliver my material, the joke writing. All of it comes together when you're doing it. But you really can't. I would say 10 years would be me, is what I was told coming up. Took 10 years to be a headliner.
Wow.
And I always believed in that. Like Howard G told me that actually. And I'm like, well, you've been doing this shit about 65 years.
Yeah.
I think you know what you're talking about,
Right.
Yeah. So, I think I had a lot of guidance coming up. And unfortunately for comics now, they don't.
Right.
And so I try to be that person that you can come to if you have questions, to try to like, hey, this is what's happening now, but you want your shit to be classic. Like
classic, not classy, but yeah.
Yeah, no, just classic. Like it's not too dated, and even if it is, the shit's still funny because it still applies today.
Yeah.
So it's not really dated. It's just
like timeless almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, because pop culture references are an effective punchline. But again, you said you want, like, you can go back and watch like Eddie Murphy or something and still laugh your ass off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there's just, even if he's talking about Brooke Shields and Michael Jackson, the shit's still fucking funny.
Right.
Like,
Because you can apply that same joke to two people now.
yes, exactly.
So Meg the Stallion, call Amazon bitch.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know I don't even know who to call Michael Jackson, honestly, but
Well,
somebody.
who's molesting him?
We are missing a
Hey,
Michael Jackson.
he's not a molester, okay? Michael Jackson is not a molester.
I'm with you.
I will
Oh, okay.
never, ever say that.
Okay.
Michael Jackson was taken advantage of hardcore because he had issues that he was never, he did never experience a childhood.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
He never did. So, like, now you have all this money and you can.
Right.
Like, he could never go to the zoo when he was a kid. Dad can sing. I want to look at the giraffe. No, sing.
It sounds like your childhood. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Wait, okay. Did you watch that documentary, the Finding Neverland, or?
I did. And then they found out those people were lying.
Oh, really? I didn't
Where's
know.
the
Yes.
documentary talking about finding Neverland
Exactly.
and how it was all bullshit?
All of it was bullshit. And nobody wants to listen to Corey Feldman. And it's like, why? He's like a living person that's there and is like, hell no, this didn't happen. Macaulay Culkin, hell no, this didn't happen. He was not like that, blah, blah, blah. And so you want to listen to the people trying to get money as opposed to people who are in this world that are like, they have nothing to gain. You
Yeah,
know,
for
like-
Macaulay Culkin, who had like the most fucked up childhood, to be like, no, Michael Jackson didn't even touch me
At
like,
all. At all.
Yeah,
and so,
that's kinda
like,
good evidence.
I listen to people with nothing to gain. You know?
Okay,
Well, you have to
okay.
think about it. Like, Corey Feldman hasn't been in shit in a long time.
Yeah.
And, like, he could have said, yeah, you can pay me and I'll go spew lies about this person for money. But he'd never done that.
Right.
He's
right.
always had Michael Jackson's back. And it's like, we pretty much, everybody knows he's not a molester. R. Kelly, that's different.
right.
You know, like, we saw R. Kelly, come on.
Did you guys watch that documentary?
The R.
Surviving
Kelly
R.
doc.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Wow, they got a documentary for every Raven Center. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Is
Like
going on?
what? We already knew R. Kelly was fucked up. When I remember being on the bus in 6th grade and they had the radio play and there's like, oh, he married Aaliyah.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
this was maybe 94, 93, but I was in 6th grade, so I was 11 or 12. And I was like, listening. I was like, what? But she's like 2 years older than me.
Wow.
How did she?
yeah.
And I'm thinking, huh? Even then, it was just like weird to me. And I'm like,
I mean, didn't she literally have a song called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number that he produced?
that was the album.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the whole album.
I mean, he told you. And see, that's the thing in the 90s. People told you what was going on. It's not like you didn't know. You just either you accepted it or you were like, this is awful.
Right.
And pretty much for me, it was just like, you know, and then the allegations were kind of, it's like, and I like 12 Play. That was one of my favorite albums. Like, but is he talking about people my age? I don't know. I don't want to really, let me listen to Crisscross again. You know, like, that's where I need to be. And that's the problem now with these kids. Like, we had Crisscross, we had MC Hammer, we had CNC Music Factory, we had all this great music that didn't talk about crazy shit. You know, like, I couldn't imagine, like, smoking crack at 12. Or like getting lit and like doing syrup and shit. I don't know how we got here. But.
I will say that I've been drinking a lot of cough syrup at night.
Nice.
to get to sleep.
But do you mix it with Sprite?
Like, no.
Okay, then that's the kicker.
Because it's really Sprite that is the bad thing here. If you're just doing straight cough syrup, that's not a problem. You got a cold.
Oh, right.
Once you start incorporating Jolly Ranchers and Sprite into the mix, now you're dealing with a drug problem.
Right.
It's just to like knock my ass out.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I quit
sleep
soda.
Penra.
I mean, if you're drinking it and you don't have a cold, it might be a little.
Yeah. When your illness is just like bipolar or a personality disorder. I haven't figured out yet, but yeah.
But no, you got to tell me what happened with this. These girls. I'm gonna say names.
Okay,
I just want to know what happened. How we went from. She killed it. She murdered it. Oh, yeah. And I was happy because I remember when you first came back on the scene and we did that Dark Mark show.
Hell yeah.
And I was so happy to see you up there killing it. And I was like, oh, she's got it. Oh, yeah, she got it back. And then I don't know.
I'll put the name. I love Maria Sanchez, and I fucking have a huge respect for Ray Diva. I think she's one of the funniest people around here too. Like, I still laugh like thinking about like some of their jokes and stuff. Like, but I love ball busting humor. I love roasting, but when it gets to the point where it just feels like a personal attack, and again, I'm a very sensitive person, so I realize that that's on me. I just don't think like I can handle that kind of like, again, I would have played up the role of being a dick sucking crack addict before I had kids, but now I have children and I'm a mother. and
you're not a dick sucking crackhead.
No, I'm just a phone sex operator who buys Adderall sometimes.
Yeah.
Please edit all of this. Yeah. We want you. We want you.
I prescribe Vyvanse, but yeah.
Yeah, I just. So, like, were they just roasting you all the time? Or?
Maria did something called the Ratchet Roundtable, where other people join it on her Instagram lives. I was trying to support her and come on, but I realized I'm ADHD. I don't mean to cut people off a lot. Like, I have a thought in my head and it pops up, and I don't mean that it's like more important than like anybody else's thought. I just like get so overly excited, and I don't mean again to like make everything about me when I'm on a live or anything. Like, I try to like pull back and I try to just watch, but then I was like accused of not participating at the same time. So like I didn't know how to win with them basically. And you know, she's just like, oh, she makes everything about her, like Ray Diva was saying, and you know, I'm tired of it. And I'd really try to be respectful, especially when they were talking about Black issues. So part of the reason why I started InfoWarlocks is to kind of put my own sense of humor out there. And then I felt like that caused a bit of a rift. There's also the element of me being into tarot and paganism, and Maria is like a very devout Christian. And so I hate to say it, so are a lot of people on the Black or urban comedy scene, and they think that I'm like also like a Satan worshiper. And yeah, like I wear this shit, but I wear it mostly to like just fuck with people.
It looks fly, dog.
Yeah.
It's looking fly.
And when you're walking around like Baltimore and stuff, the one thing people in Baltimore are afraid of that they won't fuck with is the devil.
Yeah.
So it's like when I'm walking around.
If it keeps you safe, because we don't know what does now these days. Pentagrams and all that keep you safe. My thing with that is like I'm a Christian also, and that's why I said I don't want to do the tarot cards because I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
But like if you do, that's fine.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't interfere with my relationship with God. It doesn't. I just don't choose not to do it, and that doesn't make me think any less of you.
Right.
As a person, just like there's Muslims that like some of their ideals make sense, but I'm not a Muslim.
Yeah,
but if you want to be a Muslim, be a Muslim. Yeah, so
right.
I don't,
just don't cut off little girls' clits, please.
Yeah. That's a good jumping point.
But yeah, I totally agree. And like me, like posting about this stuff or doing it's never trying to like shove my opinion down somebody's throat.
No,
It's
you just simply asked me, and I was like, no, I'm fine, and like it's moving on, and you do you.
Yeah.
And
like
my mother-in-law's tried to read my cards several times, and I'm like, I don't. If you read them and I'm unaware of it, I feel like it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, don't ever read my cards.
Right.
I told her that. Like, I just don't. I don't do it. I don't. Just like we played with a Ouija board when we were kids, and I'm like, that shit's fucking evil, man. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
I didn't like the responses I was getting from the Ouija board.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna laugh. That's
like, no, man. I used to go to this auction that they had an old like 1800s one that was made in Baltimore, and I'd go to this auction week after week. Someone would buy it, then it would be back at the next auction. Like, why the fuck is it back? Like, someone's like went home, look what I got, did it, and was like, oh fuck no, this is evil. So they kept passing. It's like, and then some lady was like, bought it and then burned it in the parking lot.
Wow.
Because she was like, this is evil, it needs to go. And this was a white lady, and she was just like, I'm here every week and watching you sell this over and over and over again, and it keeps coming back. I don't know, but it's going. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna burn it. And they were like, oh,
she sent that shit back to hell.
But it was cool as a historical thing, but like I was like, especially I'm not fucking with the Ouija board from the 1800s. Are you insane?
Right.
Like, no, they were like, this is Edgar Allan Poe's Ouija board. They would say any
And
shit.
he's dead now.
Yeah, like,
What does that say about us?
They would say the craziest shit. Like, okay, like, yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I have a glow in the dark one. It's on my mom's house.
So is Ouija board and tarot cards, is that considered like anti-Christian? I don't know.
I don't know that it's that. I just think it opens portals and
Okay.
opens doors.
Definitely.
So kind of, I guess within, because I'm Christian as well, but like my kind of thing on is I just kind of just don't believe in it in general.
Right.
And so I know I shouldn't say that on this podcast.
No.
But I think more of it comes from like internal. But like I guess that if you take like a hard stance like against it, then you're still kind of acknowledging like this is a real thing and it's a real thing I don't fuck with. Versus with me, it's like I'm Christian. I just don't. It's fun, but I don't believe in it.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Like the thing I love about magic is just I think that people, like we were talking about before, especially like rappers these days or pop artists who use these symbols in their music videos. You don't know whether they actually sign a contract with the devil or not for fame.
They did.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Someone told me that they approached them and they were like, no, and I'm going to do drugs forever so they can never get in my head. And they stuck with that. So
Do they go to what is the process of signing a contract with? Are there crossroads involved? You have to go to an intersection. I'm assuming it's a specific intersection. I can't just go to York and Seminary and the devil comes down. Are you a Szechuan house delivery driver? What is this? You know, like how do you go about that process? I've always wondered because as an aspiring musician, not that I would sign the contract, but I'm a little offended the devil never said what's up to me. Even gave me a chance.
I don't know what the criteria is either. I don't know. I just know that I've heard from comedians that they approached them and they knew
being
what
like
it was.
The industry or
the industry, that whole like, I don't want to use the word Illuminati because that's word
Use
sucks.
it.
No, because I don't think that's what it is. I just think people have an agenda that they want to push. And if they think they can get you to push it, because they don't really know, they have an idea of maybe they can do it. And then they come to them and they're like, oh, well, no, I can't push this.
Right.
You know,
You see,
like,
with my spirituality, it's not meaning the devil at the crossroads necessarily. It's remembering to look up and remember you came from the stars.
right.
And remember we're all stars. And that's the biggest fucking lie about celebrity is that they're the only stars.
Yep.
When
Yep.
Aleister Crowley, he was a piece of shit, but even he said every man and woman is a star. And non-binaries, no. but yeah, but that's interesting though. It's like I guess because what do you think you have to do to be a comedian to make it? Do you think you have to stop being funny?
I think it's changed. I think probably there were because the whole thing about like the devil signing thing makes sense to me in terms of like when they talk about blackmail, that does make sense to me. How like if you like want to be in a major position of power, in a lot of ways you kind of have to play along. Like to be like the #1 Columbia Records most promoted celebrity, like you kind of have to play ball with them. They're not going to invest a bunch of money in a person that's going to fucking go rogue or something like that. And so when you think about that aspect, it's like when they talk about like, you know, they kind of put you in a position where like you have to do something that now they have something on you. So now they know that you're under their thumb. Like we have pictures of you having sex with underage girls now, but we put you in this position of power, but now you have to, like, you wanted this power and now you're under our thumb because we have this on you. And so the second you step out of line, we can ruin your whole thing. And that's kind of how I've always interpreted, like when people talk about like signing a deal with the devil, maybe it wasn't necessarily an occult thing, but more like you're giving up your soul in a way to get this thing that you want
It's
more.
like a metaphor kind of like, but whether you believe, you know, that actually exists. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just think that there are forces at work and not necessarily supernatural. Just there's people who want an agenda pushed for a certain fucking reason. And whether it's just, I don't even know. Like,
what like agendas are being pushed right now that you think are particularly dangerous?
I don't like the agenda of black men versus black women. Like if you go on any podcast or like these influencers, they're always talking about there's black women that hate black men hate what black women, and it's like, why are we doing this? And it really comes back to the issue of relationships and dynamics of, well, I don't want to be with her because I want this and she won't give it to me. So like there's men who don't believe in the whole feminist movement. And it's like, no, if you don't work and make money, how are we going to support our family? You can't work and make money or hustle, do whatever. Then why am I dealing with you? And that's not to say love doesn't exist. But like for me and my family, we both work. We make around the same amount of money. He makes a little bit more than me, and that's fine. I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
But the bills get split in half. Right. And I'm fine with that. Some men don't want to work and don't want to do shit. And then the woman was like, well, I got to go to work. What are you doing? It's like this thing. And now like black dudes are like bragging about like flying out to other countries to pick up these women.
90 Day Fiance, baby. I love the show.
Right. But see, the thing is too, that they're going to these countries and they're all hip to it as well. And it's like, I'm not mad.
I don't mean to like go off the rails here, but it's like I've been hearing this guy's head and the voice in my head a lot. And which is why I like really want to figure out whether he's dead or not. Like I want to figure out if he's actually trying to like talk to me from beyond. Or
no, I think he's fucking with you. I think he's fully alive. I think if you went to his house, he'd be fucking alive. Do you know?
Or the homeless.
Do you know like where did he live?
Supposedly in Pasadena. I was supposed to go over his place the night that he killed himself.
What address do you have?
I gotta look it up.
But you have an address?
And I dropped his food stamp card off for his grandmother to pick up. Because he was my food stamp daddy at the shelter where he volunteered. And I'm telling you, we went through like 10 years together in 6 days.
This dude sounds like a scammer.
Yeah.
Like there's dudes who will literally go on these websites and scam, and none of it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, it ain't right.
Right.
That's the best advice I can give you. I want to know where this motherfucker. I need to pull up to your house.
Yes, I want to do an investigation.
And you come out, and I want to go in your house. I want to see, like people are.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead. Because randomly, like I just need to so you found out he was dead from people messaging you,
right? And I was supposed to see him that night. All I said was, your friends keep messaging me saying that you're going to kill yourself, but I misspelled.
Why would his friends have your phone number?
I guess he supposedly gave it to them or something.
Why?
He apparently also had a brain tumor.
Does
this sound real to you, Sam? Seriously.
I know.
This is the crazy. This is old school. Like Web
Right.
TV, 2002 web TV type fucking catfishing.
Right,
Yeah.
This
right.
is the shit that
Yeah.
people did back then when there was really no internet and you really didn't know. And yeah,
Right. And the thing is, like, I begged him to let me wait like 2 months before saying we were like together. And he's like, no, like, what are you trying to hide? Da 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 da. Like,
I love this
Yeah.
Pollard sign, by the way.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
motherfuckers scared me. They're
Pollards,
and
yeah.
Greenmount. Ugh.
oh, Greenmount, yeah. But private parking.
Pollards was just like you have to park your car. I'm like, I hope they don't get me. I used to park in Donnybrook, not Donnybrook, Valley View, across from Towson, because I didn't want to pay. And then like hope my shit was still there, and it always was. But that sign,
Yeah, that sign blew over after a rainstorm
Good.
like
And it should.
8 years ago, and I was like, you know
and
what?
you should take it.
I had to.
It gives you-
I had
I'm just
to.
having flashbacks of college right now. I'm like, oh,
Did you go to Towson? Like,
did,
he's
yeah.
more familiar with Towson than I'm mostly just Hamden and Dirty Birdie.
I did. Towson to you.
Go Tigers.
My first joke was, about how like they were giving these STD tests on campus, and like I don't know why I went there. I don't remember. It wasn't for that though. And they said, "Do you want an STD test?" And I said, "No." Why would I want an STD test? They're like, because you go to Towson. And I tell my friend this story, and he's like, "Well, because you can't spell slut without the T and the U." Duh.
That's true.
That shit was hilarious. I was like, "I'm taking that. Can I have that?" And he's like, "You can have that." He wasn't a comedian, so he's like, "It's true."
Did you ever perform for our Towson students or do anything?
No, because I actually started comedy in 2006.
Nice. Like,
And
Towson seems like it's.
I
like-
started after. No, when did I start? May 2006. Right after my first show was my last week at Towson.
oh, wow.
So I didn't do comedy then. I worked at the Baltimore Improv while I worked at Towson, or where I worked there while I went to Towson, and then that's how I met Pablo and shit. And that's when I was like, oh, they were like, you should do comedy. Everybody, Eric Myers, R.I.P.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, he worked at the Baltimore Improv with me, and I didn't know he was a comic. I thought he just worked in the box office. Then he came out and killed, and I was like,
Oh my god, his sense of humor. Like, I watched some of him on YouTube. He was so fucking dark. Like,
Yeah.
he was.
beautifully dark.
That's speaking of Towson, that's kind of another agenda I feel like they push big time. I noticed in college, like, I get the, having accessible STD tests and stuff on campus, but it almost felt like I went there for 1 year. I dropped out a virgin, so there was no need for me to have a STD test. But you'd like walk
wait a
into
minute, you're not a virgin now. Obviously, you have groupies. Bad.
not at the time.
God, Nikki Six over here and shit.
right. Yeah, he looks like Elvis McKemney mixed in a little bit. And,
I decided
some Bieber. people said.
I decided to do to pursue music as an actual career after dropping out. That was like my reason for dropping out. But I'd walk into like a dorm building, and they would just have like a bucket of condoms on the front desk, and it was like it almost felt like it was like their whole like rationale for it was like, well, people are gonna have sex, so we might as well do this. But it's like, yeah, but at the same, I don't know. It almost feel like you were like encouraging it to a point. Where
Well,
it was
because
like,
it was Towson,
yeah.
and you already that's what Towson was about.
Did they not
Partying
do that at
and-
other schools? I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
That's probably
That was just because I only know about Towson, and I was like, okay, this is okay. Because Hartford Community College did not do that.
yeah.
I can say that.
That's a commuter school. That's kind of you gotta have some serious.
If you're a
game.
whore, you were a whore in high school, and you're doing the same shit you were doing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's why you're at HCC in the first
Well,
place.
it's cheaper.
I went to Howard.
I did
Community.
my first 2 years at HCC because my mother was like, "Yeah, this is what you're gonna do because I'm gonna pay for it."
Yeah.
Or what?
That's
Are you
another life hack too. First of all, HCC is like one of the best community colleges in the country. Apparently, Hartford Community College.
I don't know. Are they talking about Hartford or Howard County? Because
Which one did you go to?
Hartford.
I went to Howard.
I think it's Hartford. I just did.
Because they have the same letters.
That is
And
unfortunately
it's probably
true.
Howard County because Howard County has money to be better.
Yeah, but I did just do a radio spot up there a month ago. And that campus was like
It's
indecipherable
nice. It's
from a
fair-
regular college.
Like way they have the Towson building up there now. When I went, I was like, okay, we had our little studio or whatever because I had to do audio production and all that, and it was nice.
Yeah.
And but what I heard, so yeah, let's say HCC Hartford Community College is the
Yeah.
best.
One of them.
Yeah.
It was one of the best. And that is a true thing. Like, people don't tell you, but like, I used to call freshman year of college, I called it 13th grade because I literally went there and like, I was in many cases, they make you take a list of generic courses just to get any major.
Right.
You have to like fulfill a certain amount of generic things. And it's like, wasn't that what high school was for? Like, I took chemistry in high school. I took physics in high school. And that was your chance to kind of be like, is this something? I have a baseline education in these subjects, as should anyone who's graduated high school.
Right.
Assuming that we're not just handing out diplomas like candy.
No, they are now.
Yeah, they are now.
Before, no.
I got my good enough.
So you could take those classes and your degree is just from the place you wind up graduating from. So like you could go to community college for the first 2 years, get all that bullshit out of the way, transfer those credits to a Towson or University of Maryland. First of all, a degree, an 2-year degree from any school in the state of Maryland gets you automatic acceptance to
Yep,
University of
that's
Maryland.
how I got to Towson. And my
Yeah.
mother's like, I'm not paying for University of Maryland. Boom.
Yeah, so
Go to Towson.
your mother saved big time fucking
Yes, she
money
did.
by not paying for the first 2 years of Towson University because those first 2 years are a joke.
They are.
They are a joke. So that's really the way to do it. Now, they're not going to say that.
No, they
because
won't.
they lose money saying that. But that's the real truth.
This podcast is also educational.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone listening, don't let anyone shame you out of community college for the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get loans to go to Towson for like you can drive to all these places. I was still going to Towson parties because my coworkers at the Improv went to Towson when I was still at Harvard. And so then when I moved to Towson, or I didn't move, when I moved over school-wise, I had these same coworkers. I'm like, okay, oh my God, you're coming to Towson? Yeah. So then, same thing.
Yeah,
I had this great college experience driving there every day.
Right. And then, yeah, I think that's what a lot of kids like just want is the college experience.
That's really what
It's
they
not-
sell you on.
Yeah, in the dorm.
And you can literally get that by like just working somewhere downtown
Which
Baltimore.
is why
Yeah.
I think going back to that, I think that's why they have like the big, pinata of condoms at the front of every dorm building because they, in a way, they really are like you're going to college thinking that they're selling.
That's
you
what
on
my
the
kids are getting on their
education.
16th birthday is a pinata of condoms. Like, please don't become an incel. Fuck someone, please.
But they're selling you on that, but in reality, they're low key selling you on the college experience, which is partying, drinking, sex, and things like that. And they're like, no, we're not selling that. But it's like, but that's kind of all we're doing here because my classes are bullshit. And every 18, 19-year-old really, when they think about going to college, you think this is the first time I'm out on my own. You're drinking in your dorms and stuff like that. All your classes are bullshit. It's all general education shit. Most people don't even declare their major until sophomore, if not junior year. So it's like, we really are just here to kind of fucking have fun, you know?
You are.
And then they
really
act
it
like
is.
that's not it, you know?
Yeah, it's not. Only thing I learned in Towson that I didn't already know was how to like spin shit PR wise, and that like I would have been too dark to go to Howard University back in the day.
Really?
Yes.
You mean
They
like
had
comedy wise or skin wise?
No, skin wise.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they had a paper bag hanging at the front door.
Are you
and
fucking
also
serious?
a comb. So if the comb got stuck in your hair, the next test was, all right, well, put your hand in this paper bag.
What
And
the
if you were
fuck?
darker than the paper bag, well, yeah. So I was like, wow, okay. And I learned that at a white school from a black teacher. And I was like, oh, well, I couldn't have gone to Howard anyway. Shit. All right, you
Oh
know?
my God.
But that's yeah. So
Really?
yeah.
That's how they did it?
That's how they did it. A comb at the front door and a bag.
Wow.
Brown paper bag.
And when we discuss reparations, we're over here talking about like gene testing and ancestors.com and stuff like that. I feel like we could just do that instead.
No, just do
kinda.
skin tone. Like that's why I said like I just dealt with Towson because I compared it. You know, I said my mother worked for Morgan State, and she was like, "You're not fucking going there. Absolutely not.
To Morgan State?
Hell no.
Did they do the reverse test at Morgan
No,
State?
she just worked there.
One of
Knew
my
how
friends was trying to
corporate-
convince me to use affirmative action to go to Morgan State.
Oh, you
to try
totally
to go.
can.
Well, you know,
What is
somebody's
happening?
suing. A white guy is suing Howard now
Really?
for discrimination.
This
But
is not
this is-
Howard County. This
No,
is Howard,
Howard University in Washington, D.C. Yeah, let me specify
Oh
that.
my
Howard
God,
University.
that's so fucked
And
up.
he said it was subjected to like multiple racist, and I get it. He probably got roasted every day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like if you just, that's what, it's just,
That's the thing about hanging out.
I didn't have racist shit happen to me at Towson. Actually, I didn't. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I was the black girl that the cops talked to. Like, Why is she like this?
I need you on speed dial when the cops come for me because I don't know how to talk to them.
I know how to talk to them.
I don't know how.
Officer, listen. She had too much to drink. Yeah. She's crazy. Her boyfriend just cheated on her. She shouldn't have broken that TV. We got her under. Can you please don't take her to jail? Do you know how many times? And
okay, I'm sorry, but just going back because I'm going back to the Judah Comes, which is really quick. It's just like it happened because I was just telling him like your friends are texting me saying that you are going to kill yourself. I misspelled kill yourself, so I wrote correcting my spelling error kill yourself below that.
Oh my god! You put the asterisk next to it like call yourself. I mean kill yourself. Oh my god!
Then I said see you at 10 though.
What? They might have those messages like in
please,
evidence.
like I need you on like fucking speed dial. If I swear to God,
what an
and I didn't mean it.
Typo.
This dude's not dead.
Yeah.
Please, he's not.
But I didn't mean to derail him.
What did you originally spell kill yourself as?
Oh, I have to go back and look. But
call yourself.
Fill yourself.
Yeah, diddle yourself.
I'm out of food stamps. Fill my. Gosh, this podcast is really predicated, leaning heavily on the idea that this guy is alive.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just
I saw how upset you were on Facebook, and I was just
I mean, I've still been crying. It's like
stop crying because he's alive. This person is not dead.
Mm-hmm. But I feel
because you know how you find out that one of your friends killed themselves? You hear about it, and then you're like, what? And then you text someone, and then they're like, yeah. And then you're like, oh, shit. And there's a funeral. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, there's a funeral involved usually. Obituaries.
My friend killed himself. And you know what? They didn't find him for weeks. He was in the closet of his house. And his dad was on business and came home and found him because the cops called him or called his mom because the neighbors were complaining about a smell.
Oh
my God.
That's how they found him.
That's morbid.
We didn't know he was suicidal. We didn't know any of that shit.
Wow.
That's how we found out. That's why I said real people none of that's going to happen.
Right.
Like, you have to ask yourself, why do these people have my phone number? I haven't been dealing with him that long. When did he kill himself? After I said I was done? Because that's what psychos do. Oh, if you leave,
I just
I'll
didn't
kill
want to
myself.
talk to him for a night because I was working on like creative stuff and I'm really bad at multitasking and I'm a very introverted person normally. So for me to talk to someone,
I need you to stay off dating sites while you're going through the shit you're going through. That's what I really need you to do. Like, as your friend, I'm telling you, stop. Those are the worst sites that you're on.
Right.
Their people are literally mental. That's why no one's on there. Tinder, don't think you're not good enough to be on Tinder. Don't think that, bro.
That's hilarious. Oh
no, I'm serious.
I'm sorry.
There's a girl that works with me that like was juggling 5 dudes on Tinder. And half of them lived in Baltimore. I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? What? And then one day she's like, yeah, I have a boyfriend.
Oh, I would imagine if you're a girl, dude, Tinder is a freaking gold.
No, because she's super woke. And like, you know, there's guys like that. But like, you know, that's kind of dying down now. That woke shit, it's costing people money now. Mm-hmm. And I knew it would go away once it starts costing people money. It's not going to be that. You don't really give a shit. Mm-hmm. You don't. Just like Kanye. Oh, he's anti-Semitic. But you lost $500 million.
Yeah.
Right.
And now you want him back. Or you want to sell his shit. And you're going to have to pay him. But he's anti-Semitic. But, you know, that doesn't matter because I'm losing money. So.
Right. And see, like a blind person explained to me the anti-Semitism on his part. And it's just like how a lot of black artists have their contracts and careers controlled by people. And a lot of them happen to be Jewish. And again, my mom's a Jew. I've been to Israel. I just find them annoying because my mom gets on my nerves. So
they're not annoying. Your mom is annoying.
Yeah.
Not all, just her. That's how you have to say it.
Yeah.
Not all Jews.
Yes, yeah. Just ones I'm related to, you know? And again, if the Jews were really controlling Hollywood, don't you think I'd be doing a little bit better in life?
Well, your mom is Jewish. That does, by Jewish law, make you Jewish.
It does.
Yeah,
and it also makes your kids Jewish.
Nice. Okay.
Because it goes.
So
it
then
follows
you
the
need
mother.
to use that to come up.
You need to use that to go on a little bit longer of a rant here. Because I was really feeling it.
I guess okay, there is a conspiracy that I believe in, that the birthright program that I was in to go to Israel, because I think that the American evangelical Christians are funding these programs for young American Jews to go back to Israel to get us to make Aliyah and move there so Jesus will come back.
But I thought they didn't believe in Jesus. I'm so confused.
No, like the Christians believe that. I think it's
Christian.
in the Bible.
Okay,
that,
Christians.
That once
Okay.
all the Jews have returned to the Holy Land, Jesus is coming back. Woo, party!
Well, they do.
And he's going to show up in Africa, and they'd
Yes.
be like, "Oh,
Yes, I think he was Ethiopian.
This is Jesus. They break out a paper bag and it comes.
It's Jesus, motherfuckers.
yeah." I mean, I just know what my Jewish friends say, and they're like, "It's true,
What's true?
all of it, everything Kanye said is fucking true." He's
Yeah,
like, "Of course." I was like, "But why do you do that?" It's like, we had to find a niche, and that's what he told me. So this came from a real Jewish person.
Right.
He was like, we had to find a niche. Nobody really dealt with them. Like Italians, like regular white people don't deal with them because they're all Christian, Catholic, whatever. So to them, they're like a step beneath a Muslim, where they'll deal with you as opposed to a Muslim. So you had to find a set of people who would deal with you. And
So
I
wait,
mean-
Kanye found Jewish people to deal with him, or you're talking about Jews? Nobody can deal with the Jews.
no, he was
Or-
saying that they deal with black culture
Oh.
because that's who accepts them and allows them to do it.
That makes
Because
sense. Yeah.
to them, to black people, you just are a white card. You know, I have a friend. He's Jewish as shit. He sells insurance. I'd go around and do shows with him. People were like, "Oh, is that your agent? Is that your manager?
Oh my God.
Is that your lawyer?"
Yeah.
No, that's my friend.
Right.
But they assumed. And it was like, okay, and it worked. Okay, and we were like, okay, let's play this role as long as we can.
Oh my God. That's
They
weird.
think I'm important. People are coming and talking to me because I'm with you.
Right.
That's it.
It's kind of also, just from an outside perspective, one of the better stereotypes you could have. Like, oh no, we are awesome at shit. We're really good with money and we find ourselves in high power positions. It's like, that's not really a mean.
It's
like,
not like if you get
And
a
we're
lawyer,
reptilian blood.
do
Yes.
you not want a Jewish lawyer?
Yeah, I want a Jewish lawyer. And I want an
Absolutely, I
Indian
do.
doctor. And I want.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is wrong?
That's where I fucked up in custody. My lawyer wasn't Jewish.
Yep. That's exactly why. Maybe. I don't know.
That likely is why.
Yeah.
It probably is because either they have to be Jewish or like it's not a bad thing. I don't. Maybe they think it is because the way people are spinning it, but like it's true. That's what
Yeah.
people want. Prefer. Do you want a black lawyer or a Jewish lawyer, Mr. Cohen?
You want Cochran or Cohen?
No, Cochran's a one-off. Cochran's a one-off. Cochran's a one-off. I looked at Marilyn Mosby's lawyers, which is why she doesn't have them anymore. Remember Marilyn Mosby's first lawyers? Mm-hmm. They're not her lawyers anymore. And I was like, are you going to get out here and preach? Or are you going to, like, defend her? Because, like, I don't care what you're, whatever. And then you did something and got contempt. And, like, now you had to quit because you got, no.
Can you break down? I'm very in my own head and stuff. Like, I want to start paying more attention to the news. I tried to understand the whole Marilyn Mosby thing, but I mean, I remember the stuff you used to post about it would make me laugh or make me think even. So
basically, her mistake was going after the police and the police union with the Freddie Gray thing. It was never going to work. They rioted because people were tired of it. And so she did this. And then my personal opinion, this is nothing else. That's just the week Larry Hogan got COVID and she came out and said he needs to worry about something, getting rid of COVID, whatever, something to that. Don't quote me. Something. Her and Larry Hogan had gotten into it. Okay.
yeah,
Like a week, 2 weeks before these charges came. And I said, oh, she talking too much shit now. Because the way the murder rate is in Baltimore City, you can't really say you're doing shit. Yeah. You're letting these people back on the streets. Oh, these are low-level crimes. Okay, that's what you caught them on. But these people are fucked up. They are. Mm-hmm. We know that. Like, I knew people who got caught pissing on the street that were fucking murderers. Oh, you locked them up for fucking pissing on the street, but they've been indicted and questioned about multiple murders, multiple shit, and so you just let them out. And so,
what? That makes no sense. That's fucking
no, and I get it. On a normal scale, you shouldn't be locked up for pissing on the sidewalk. But that's a law on the books in Baltimore City. You can't piss outside. I don't know if it's indecent exposure. I don't know what the charge is, but you can't do it.
But you can kill someone? Like,
No.
what?
But these people did other shit. You just caught them pissing on the sidewalk. So you have this person locked up for pissing on the sidewalk, yet they're a suspect in multiple murders. You've caught them with guns. You've done this. 9 times out of 10, they're probably gonna kill someone or have. But because you locked them up on a pissing outside charge, let them go.
And
This isn't a drunk college bitch that was drunk and pissing in the alley.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who has charges. So when she started letting these people out and the murder rate starts going up, well, you're getting these people and you're putting them in custody, but you're letting them go. And they're pissing on the street because they know that you're going to let them go. So they don't give a fuck. Because, like, if you really broke it down, like if you're wanted for murder or a suspect in multiple murders, most people would say, I'm keeping my nose clean. I'm not doing anything. But these people were so confident that she would let them out, because she would, that they would piss on the street. Fuck you. Pull their dick out to the cop. Fuck you, bitch. Then the cop's like, I'm offended. Fuck this bitch. Lock them up. But you're not going to get charged. You just wanted to, like, fuck their day up.
Right.
But really, you should have held this person because you're a suspect in multiple shit. But it breaks it down. So, like, when she was doing that, you're going at the police, the city's burning, all this, you're going to pay for that. She went too hard. Way too hard. And it's like, are these charges bullshit? I mean, no, you did it. But would they have come after you for this bullshit had you not done what you did?
But that's kind of like profiling, though, isn't it? It's like that's the.
Wasn't there more to it as well? Like I wasn't there an aspect of like a lot of the things that these people were brought in for wasn't necessarily just something dumb either. Like
no, it wasn't. But I'm just using that as the
like,
least, the like most like bullshit.
The best case scenario of what was happening. When in reality, there was also a lot of people getting taken. You hear about people all the time that, you know, were arrested, have like, you know, 8, 9, 10 arrests on record for car theft and armed robbery and different things like that. And all these things pile up, and then eventually it culminates into them killing somebody. And it's like, well, this person should have been in jail for that carjacking. That person should have been in jail for the robbery. They should have been in jail for all these different things
like
that they wouldn't have been out to commit
on the
murder.
Street
exactly.
to kill somebody.
Exactly.
Because so much other shit that you did prior to that, you should have been in jail.
Exactly. So you have a lot of people that are out here committing murders. Yeah, they hadn't murdered anybody yet, but they did a bunch of other shit that was like that is jail worthy. You
notice El Salvador got a jail for 40,000 people. They said they haven't had a murder in 300 days.
Damn.
And that's
because
the most
they
dangerous
locked everybody. They locked out
What?
everybody. If you got tattoos and they're like, well, these people didn't do it. I don't think just it's a profile. If you're in the gang like that, and if you.
But they still let them fuck bitches, right? They got conjugal visits and stuff.
I don't
in
know.
The jails there.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But if you have tattoos all over your body and face, you might just bake fucking empanadas all day. That's very possible. But why would you tattoo your face and body?
Also, if you're repping MS-13 and you're not in MS-13, MS-13
then you should be locked up anyway, because and that's safe from MS-13.
Exactly,
because you can't be doing that.
Yeah, they'll fuck you. If anything, if you're falsely repping MS-13, getting locked up and away from MS-13 is the best thing you should be asking for.
But when you get locked up, you'll be with nothing but MS-13.
True.
It's like
or a bunch
being
of
a
other
fake
empanada
blood
guys, yeah.
or a fake Crip. All that shit used to be like my cousin-in-law used to walk around Patapsco Flea Market with a bandana hanging out of his pocket. White boy. Somebody pulled him up and was like, hey, put that away. Like a nice older gentleman.
Oh.
Put that away.
Right.
Did he know what he was doing, or did he
He
just
knew
like
what
the
he was.
banana?
He thought he, you know.
Yeah.
Eminem made a lot of fake thugs. And the crazy thing about Eminem is Eminem was never like that. Eminem was like, I'm a crazy white boy. I'm not a gang member.
Right.
I'll kill my mom. I don't go and kill and shoot up blocks. I want to kill my mom and my baby's mother.
Right.
Like,
I'm on like an Eminem wavelength.
but, you know, and so, but like during the Eminem period, a lot of white people that thought they was hood down was doing a lot of shit that you shouldn't be doing. It's like they're giving you a pass because you're white, because they know if they kill you, they're going to look for your killer. As opposed to a black person, you cannot do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't misrepresent. Like even the mob, people, like, they killed people too for like faking mobster shit. Like you said, you're a part of this family.
Wow.
Are you?
Yeah. Right. Totally.
It's
yeah.
just-
And see, the thing is, it's like, I'm not trying to circle it back around to stand-up or to comedy, but it's like, you have to come into, like, I hate to say it, but it's like the urban comedy rooms with a different attitude than you will in like a mainstream or
Well,
hipster
yeah,
room.
and that's just because it's different cultures.
Yeah.
Like you have to come with high energy
Right.
in urban rooms.
Right.
They want punchline. Whereas white people, you can lead up.
Right.
I mean, it's nothing. It's just different.
Yeah.
You know, and so
And sometimes, like, once they trust me enough, they're just like, okay, she's just a fucking weirdo. Once they trust me enough and get over the fact that I'm just weird, then they can kind of like fuck with me. Like, but
no, and I think like when you come in and the way you started, because that room that we did, that was a black room, and you killed.
Oh no, thank you.
You know, and so you know, it's just maybe you start with a BAM, go into it, and then go into what you're doing.
Right.
You know,
right.
but you can't let these rooms intimidate you, because I'll say this about black rooms: if you can kill black rooms, you can kill white ones. White rooms.
That's what Bill Burr said. I mean, and that's
White
what I
rooms
was-
are easy.
Right.
It's if can you kill the black rooms, then you can do anything.
Right. I mean, yeah, when the same jokes work everywhere, then you know, like, okay, this is like my set. Like, this
Yeah,
is.
I would imagine there's no such thing as a pity laugh in a black room.
No, there's
Like-
not.
Or they're laughing
It'll
at
just
you.
be
It's
silent.
different.
Like
Yeah.
white people are polite. I mean, and this is black people is like, I took off work, I got a babysitter, I got limited time, I want to have a good time. This bitch better be funny, because
Yes.
I'm on a schedule. I have to be home at X time.
And I will say this: when you get booked into black, they pay. You get paid. It's not the same.
Black rooms
like-
definitely pay better,
because the tickets are a little more expensive, or
because
like you said, you know,
you're going through babysitter, night out with my man, blah, 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 blah. But I got to be back. I want to have a good time. This is not wasting my time or my money.
Right.
So you better be funny,
right?
because I don't have unlimited time.
yeah, totally. And that's again like where I want to get like I love the like people that we were talking about. I adore them and stuff. It's like I just don't know how to balance like taking things too personally and like
It's got to be a
diversity.
matter of you have to have a good sense of when something is mean-spirited or not. I mean, that's
Right.
the real thing. I mean,
Right.
there's pretty much no joke somebody could make to me or about me where if I thought that they were genuinely just trying to be funny and not coming at it from an angle where they're actually trying to insult me, that, you know, just I would take the, okay, that was funny. Even if it does kind of hurt me, you know, because when somebody's roasting you, it's like, there is an element of that, but you can kind of tell, I feel like, when somebody
You
is.
should be able to. And if it feels mean, you know, kind of pull them to the side and be like, hey, you know. But
yeah. But then the thing is I love like edgy comedy and I love like vicious comedy. So it's like yeah, you just have to find that balance.
And also.
or you need to learn how to roast back.
Yeah.
But when I roast back, I'm like, kill yourself, and then
I mean, hey,
Hey,
if that's where it
That's
goes,
what you came at me.
if that's where it's going.
Don't get mad at my response
Yeah.
because you came at me. This is what I know. Bitch, kill yourself.
Yeah. And
know?
and truly the art of roasting really is that the clapback really is you have more power in the clapback.
You do.
Like
right,
you know,
right.
because there really only is kind of like one, there's only really one, like I'm going off of like social media posts, like if you obviously real life, I think it's similar, but in social media things, it's like when you see somebody getting like a multiple back and forth debate, it's kind of like it just looks silly. It really is like somebody says something, somebody else says something, and whoever had the better thing in that first thing, you won. Because at that point, like if you say something, if you like fry somebody and they fry you back even better, then it's like you lost.
Right, you were
So
asking
it's like,
for it.
yeah, it's like, you know, with as the clapper, you kind of have that, you know what I mean? That
I know. I
advantage.
never try to clap at anybody. It's like I never.
No,
try
you
to-
don't. It's like a thing. Like I feel like I'm one of the most chill people,
yeah.
but people still try me every time.
they're trying to kill your vibe.
I heard this big body Roblox bitch was talking about me
I
the
saw
other day.
that earlier.
And I took it down because I was mad. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to, But if this bitch want to go, so that was my warning to you. Stop talking about me.
Right.
Because what can you say about me?
Right.
You can't say I'm not funny.
No.
So what can you say?
Right. And you have and you're succeeding.
Like I said,
and-
you have no car, bitch.
right.
You have nothing.
Right.
Shut the fuck up
Yeah.
before I really go on you.
Right.
I'm chilling,
Exactly.
but they want to do it. So people take your kindness for weakness.
right.
It happens a lot and it sucks. Because then you have to show them, hey, bitch, I'm actually worse than you. I'm actually a worse, more savage person than you. I
Right.
just know how to check myself.
Yes.
And I
yeah.
don't. Because I don't need to come at you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, it sucks that happened. And I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And also it's just like the thing what I love sometimes about like comedians like having rivalry or something is just like it can be like fun and it can be kind of like the WWE, like if you could play it up, but
Well, the problem is
But-
a lot of the, as we discussed before, a lot of the comedy scene is theater kids.
Exactly.
Like in their mentality, if not in their reality. And I think like when you talk about like people mistaking your kindness for weakness, I relate to, I mean, it's just like a matter of like the kind of people, because there are just truly just pushovers that just like they're nice because they're scared of conflict, you know? But for a lot of people that tend to be kind, it's because we understand like if it's going to be a conflict, it's going to be a conflict. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't go out starting fights at bars. Like other guys might like go out and like get into trouble and get in tussles and stuff like that. But because to them it's like a game. You know what I mean? Like for certain people, like they'll start drama and it is like they just look at it as like, oh, it's just drama, it's whatever. But it's like for some people, it's like, no, dude, I'm not gonna start shit with you. And but if you do, if we're gonna have a beef, we're gonna have like an actual beef. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
like a little fucking thing, you know. So I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, I'll just fucking say shit about this person, talk shit about this person, because to them it is kind of a joke. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And
But not a joke. It's not a joke to them, but it's just like they don't understand that like, how far shit can go. They're not ready for it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, and I'm like, some people mistake me for being, I guess, kind of like arrogant or something, because it's just like I go off. I have like a God complex sometimes, like Kanye when I'm manic.
I've never seen that.
Or it's just like where you think like, oh, I'm channeling divine energy. It's just like I'm
But
full
why
of God's
does that?
light and love.
But see, you have to ask yourself why that bothers them.
Right.
I'm not
right,
bothered. Even if you acted that way,
Right.
that doesn't affect me.
Right. Because I'm not saying nobody else
I don't
shines. It's
care
like, yeah,
what you're
yeah.
doing. If
Right.
that's what you need to do for your own mental purposes, do it.
Yeah, totally.
But some people are threatened by that. It's weird. I don't know.
Right.
That's why I said, you see why I say I want to retire at 20.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm Tom Brady in the last leg.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Brady on the Patriots. Maybe, like I said, Tom Brady the first season.
At the Bucks, yeah.
And that's it. But really, it should have ended in fucking Massachusetts. And I don't want to be Tom Brady.
Well, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just a matter of the context because, when you look at stand-up comedians, I've always been envious of stand-up comedians because, from a musician's perspective, I'm 30. And in the musician's world, 30 is like getting up there, But in the comedian's world, look at the top most relevant comedians right now. They're in, like, their
I'm about
50s.
to be 40 on Friday.
Yeah, but like
And-
look at like so there's like the GOAT generation, which I would say is like the most established, still active comedians now, which you have like Chappelle, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, guys in that ilk. They're all in their 50s, and then you have like the guys who are like on the come up, like Theo Von, Shane Gillis, guys like that. Even they're in their mid 30s. So it's like you know, the timeline for comedy is
You only get funnier with age.
It's
You
further
do.
down. Like most, you know, there's not a lot of like super famous 22-year-old stand-up comedians unless they're just like TikTok personalities.
And that's not
you know what I mean?
real.
It's not
TikTok's
real.
not
So
real.
like when
So.
with comedy, it's like you might be looking at like, oh, I put in 20 years. I'm Tom Brady. It's like I think it's just a matter of like maybe you have in your mind grown out of this level. At which point, but like if you took it to the next level, then you're young.
That's
for
what I'm
comedy.
trying to do. Take it
Yeah.
to the next level. Like, I don't care about shit. Like, when I started out, I was 26. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Was I 26? No, I was 23. Don't even know. That's getting 40. You don't even know how old you were, bitch. But no, I was 23 when I started this, and I cared about a lot of shit. My image, I don't give a fuck. I go to work every day. I'm good. My family's good. Fuck y'all.
Right.
And that's the attitude I have. And that's what makes you better. You see, Dave Chappelle gives no fucks.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Nothing. Because these people are still going to come. Because at the end of the day, dollar bill.
Yes.
Dollar bill, y'all. It's like Wu-Tang told us when we were kids, cash rules everything.
It does. Yeah.
And like this woke bullshit, shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter what theaters people get canceled from. Someone else will be like Andrew Unger. I love him.
Yeah,
For the
me
simple
too.
fact that he will bring people to the show, to his club, that they're supposed to be canceled. No. And then he'll bring them and it'll sell out. Fuck
Right.
you.
And he's a very liberal guy in his personal life, but he
No, but
knows,
like
what's
he
funny is
knows
funny,
he knows
you know?
what's up.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Like, who really cares about that Louis C.K. shit?
Right. I
Really?
still love Louis.
I
hate
love
to say
Louis
it,
C.K.
but yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, so he told you he was going to jerk off and you stayed there.
Yeah.
Even though there was a door where you can leave.
Or a
Because
phone
I'd
you
say,
can hang up.
okay, you know what? I'm going to go smoke this blunt. I'm going to come back 30 minutes, hour. What do you want me to come back? And then I'm going to knock on the door.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back in and we'll talk business. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
If I'm staying there, it's because I want to watch it. And then I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm offended. What the fuck is that?
Like
He
these
said-
two girls, this comedy duo or something, they talked about how
Well,
they
they're
watched
dead
him
now.
and
They're not dead,
yeah.
but their shit's dead.
they
and it's like
said they
it-
watched him and laugh. I'm like, that sounds like a good time, like watching Louis
I don't want
jerk off and
to.
shame and
Me
laughing. It's
personally,
like-
I don't want to watch anyone jerk off. That's
yeah.
weird.
I mean, I got paid,
But he told them, "Do you want to
Yeah.
hang out? Maybe you want to watch him do it. Some people might want to. Cool.
right.
But I
Their
don't
story.
feel like, oh, I had to stay there and watch him. It's like, no.
And
Or
he
they-
sabotaged
yeah.
their career. I mean, that's
They
Or
did.
they-
It actually backfired and like shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because there's real people out here getting jumped on, like physically fucking raped by strangers and this shit. You had a choice.
right.
Yeah.
I'm going to jerk off now. Oh, yeah? Okay.
Well, going back to what you said about what we were talking earlier about Michael Jackson, and I think that was a good point, is like my natural tendency as well is to I don't like to look at like what does this person have to gain? That's something that you should consider.
Always.
You know, this idea that like I know like the mantra was like believe all this, believe all
Nope,
that, but it's
I
like,
don't believe shit bitches say.
it's like you do have
nothing.
You do have to consider that like okay, so just like in the local comedy scene, if you can't elevate yourself to the top of the pile by just standing out as a better comedian, then instead you get that crabs in the bucket thing where you try to tear other people down. And so when you expand that to a larger scene, you have, you know, one of the arguments they used in this thing with the Louis C.K. thing is like, well, it's a power dynamic. You know, we thought that like if you did, and it's like, okay, well, even then you've just established that you're willing to do something
for something else.
For something else.
So you're a whore.
So literally now you've
Basically.
established it like, well, I thought that maybe you would give us opportunity. Okay, so who's to say that you're not doing
That's a whore mentality.
who's to say that you're not accusing him of something to get something
get
out of
that
this?
shit.
So
No.
you've already established that you're willing to do something for personal gain, and now we're gonna sit here and believe everything you say. It's like, and then the other point you made, which is like it undermines actual shit that goes on.
Actual victims.
when you try to compare
it really
Yeah.
does. And it's like there are women out here, kids, everybody being touched and grabbed against their will, and this bullshit, bitch, you could have left.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah, you're an adult.
Fucking leave. Exactly.
Right.
That's why Dave
And I'm
Chappelle's
done.
bit about that was amazing.
And I'm done with all of it. Believe women. No, I won't. I actually will believe men first before I believe women because I'm dead serious. I don't believe a shit a bitch says because I'm like, let me look back. Let me see the thing.
I think she's our most red pill guest so far. We had Matt Brown on.
I'm not red pill. I'm just fucking over it.
Right.
All of it. I'm over it because you literally are like jeopardizing actual victims. You're jeopardizing children with this bullshit. You had an option to leave. Were you held against your will? Yes or no? No? Well, I thought, no. Did you have could you leave? You left. Or no, you didn't leave. Well, we thought we could. No. And that's why I said it's scary because y'all are setting our kids up for failure with this bullshit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm scared for my son.
I always believe my kids. That's why I said always believe your kid. Always believe your kid. And then, like, you look into it, but yeah. But, like, this shit? Oh, he did this to me. Oh. Well, bitch, why didn't you leave? Do you know how many parties I was at in college where shit looked dicey? I always had, like, that feeling of, somebody probably gonna get shot or fucked up or something. This shit look crazy. Let me get out of here.
Right.
You don't have fight or flight. That's not my problem, but you do have it. You choose to ignore it because you think you're going to get something out of it. Mm-hmm. Either you're scared or you're not. Because fuck that. If a nigga like pull a gun out and like do my show, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get the fuck out of there. He held me at gunpoint, but I wanted to do his show. That's literally how it sounds.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
And I'm sorry, like I was in a relationship where I let myself be victimized for almost 4 years, and I allowed myself to be
at least
a victim.
you admit that. Because a lot of people, I'm a victim. No, because you let yourself be one.
Right. And I'm suffering for the consequences now. I mean, I'm gonna have to get fucking vaginal mesh surgery because of the shit that happened. But
well, that's why the victim, the kind of ideology of even the idea of victim blaming kind of, it's like, I don't like, obviously you don't want to blame real victims and anything, but I don't think there's anything wrong with establishing like, here is how, like, if you actually want people to be able to avoid future situations, you have, for instance, I'll put it this way, as a man, but okay, so like, if I have a daughter, right, and she's walking home alone from the bars at night, and you know, I understand that she is a potential victim of rape or robbery or something like that. Now, if she were to get robbed or raped, she is a victim, and that should never have happened. It doesn't excuse anything, but I would still teach my daughter, like, hey, these are things, you have to be aware of how you are potentially putting yourself in a position to be victimized.
Right, and they take away, like, your responsibility. It's not about what a woman wears, and this is like, no, there's certain situations, like, I'm not going to go out into the woods covered in blood because an animal is probably going to attack me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm probably not going to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's like the same thing. It's like, I'm fucking over this bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, the part of me men are really not your enemy. They really aren't. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, but there's certain shit you're just not going to do. You don't put your garbage out on certain days and leave it there because animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just like that. Like, hey, I'm not going to put myself out as prey because there are predators.
Exactly.
And
you're taking away when you don't teach the opposite side of that and say, like, look, this has happened, this is wrong, but also these are things that you have to be aware of as this type of person or that type of person,
exactly,
to avoid it. You're perpetuating. You're also taking the power out of people to not be a victim, basically. You know, when you like, if you find yourself victimized in relationships,
hold on, you got to pay Just Another Victim by Helmet and House of Pain. Victimized. That song's real though.
Yeah, but what happens is the type of speaking of agendas and stuff, the agenda of this perpetuation of that kind of mentality, and like, you know, if you're a victim, don't ever reflect on yourself to see how you could potentially be contributing to the fact that you're being victimized, and simply point all the blame outwards to the ether, what you're really doing is taking away that person's ability to ever not be a victim.
Exactly.
You're telling them that they have no power over their circumstances, that there's just a bunch of people out there that are trying to get them, and they can't do anything about it because there's no things that they could change about their own daily life or how they go about certain situations to avoid being victimized in the future. So then you find yourself in this endless cycle of being victimized over and over again, because in your eyes, the way they want you to think about it is there's nothing you can do.
Right.
And that's so, you talk about agendas and stuff like that. That's a big one,
Right, but, well, see, what happened with me and my relationship was I allowed myself to be victimized. I allowed somebody to feel entitled to my entire existence, my body, whatever, because I used him as a resource of survival because I had nowhere to live. I was trying to get on disability, and I needed him and his family as a resource for shelter and food to fucking survive. And that's what happened. And, maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe I should have done things differently. Maybe I should have tried to achieve more independence on my own, but it is what it is. And
but you also admit what you were doing.
so we both used each other in
exactly.
a way.
And you realized that you should have done things differently.
And I did love him.
So you didn't have to rely on him, but you loved him.
Right. And I thought,
And that's why I said people put themselves in positions to be victimized, to be just mind fucked all the time. But you don't have to. People don't like their options. You never had to be there.
Right.
But the options of not being there were being on the street, being wherever. So
But then when you become a mother, and then when you see, oh wait, my children are going to grow up seeing their mother be a victim or put herself in a position role, that's when I knew I had to fucking leave.
Right.
Yes.
Because of them. It's I'd rather them unfortunately have a broken home than I guess have to see that.
And it's better to be in a broken home. And is it really broken? Or would it have been broken if you were together?
Yeah, exactly. It's
I grew up with a single mom. I didn't know my dad like that. The couple times we hung out, I'm like, yeah, this wouldn't have. I don't know. And that's all I know is single motherhood. That's how I grew up. But I turned out fine. And now my child's father is in my life, in his life. We're together. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be that person. But I don't blame my mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was different for me because you said you almost make as much money as him. You split things half and half. Again, I put myself in the role of being paid much less, of earning less income, of being the primary caregiver and not having the resources to support myself. So,
and that's why you need it. I didn't work for 2 years. I stayed home with my son for 2 years. The only thing I had was working in the comedy club and doing shows. That's it. So he paid all the bills.
Which is so awesome. You still had a life of your own.
I still had a life, but I contributed something. Because at the time, putting him in daycare would have broke both of us. I couldn't do it. It was better if me not work, stay at home, this and that. And that's why I said you just have to get to a point where I'm not accepting this. Plus we were together 12 years before I had a kid with him.
Right. Yeah, that's a long time to
when
know
I met
a motherfucker.
When I met him, he didn't work. He didn't do shit. But we got it together.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm I just this whole, men are evil and they're trying to, it's come on, man. I see these chicks on Facebook put their tits out on Facebook, half showing their tits. And why are you doing that? So you can jump on a guy that says nice tits? I don't understand.
Right.
Why did you need to? It's so
for the
sick.
clout.
It's sick to me because it's a sickness. It's fucked up because you pull your tits out, guys are gonna look at it. Girls are gonna look oh, this bitch pulled her long ass titties out. What the fuck? Right. Don't nobody want to see that shit, but some dude does.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But why?
Right.
Why did you do it?
Right.
And they don't have an answer.
Right.
Okay, but why did you pull your tits out?
I guess because insecurity.
Because I can. Because I can. Of course you can. But now why are you mad at the reaction?
That's why I didn't want that dude to leak my nudes, because how embarrassing is it if your tits are like your vagina get exposed and like you couldn't even like try to get some money from.
No, you just gotta own that shit. If they do it, they do it. Because if you send him nudes,
I know I'm a total fucking idiot.
then you know when you did it, this could potentially be out there. Like I said, if I sent my dude plenty of tit pics because I have great tits. And if they leak, I have great tits. Damn, they look even better in lo-fi. Right. Hell yeah. Yes. Show my tits again. You have to take the power back.
Yeah.
Don't send anybody any shit that you don't want out there. Just assume it's going to be out there.
Right.
But I'm not mad that I sent my boyfriend my tits. Oh, we're not together anymore. He was petty enough to release my great tits. All right, let me see that ankle. Fuck. Damn, I need to get. But
I'm telling you, it was love for those 5.5 days. It was true love.
Okay. And he's still alive. He's still alive, and maybe you can find it. Maybe you can find it again. He's still alive.
I guess we'll probably. But okay, before we edit, just 9/11. Do you think it was an inside job?
Yes. 100%. You want to tell me? You want to know why I know? Because I joined the Army January 17th, 2001. I was still in high school. This fucking shady recruiter pulled up next to the gas pump, and I was like, hey, you have a screwdriver? Because my subs went out in my car. Car full of people, whatever. He's like, yeah, I got a sub. What are y'all doing? So we were 5 possible candidates. Out of 5, you might get 2, whatever. He was like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, I don't know. We're about to go drive around, about to go back on post, blah, blah, blah. He's like, y'all should join the National Guard. Okay. Come see me. I'll take y'all to dinner. Took us to Golden Corral.
Hey.
Yes,
hey, man.
Chocolate fountain, baby.
Anyway, skip all that shit. I was in high school. I joined. My ship date was September 13th, 2001. Okay. So September, like, graduate high school. I go to drills every month, whatever. Graduate high school. I'm sleeping on September 11th, 2001 because I'm about to leave on the 13th. And I'm not going to sleep for a long time. So I was trying to sleep as much as fucking possible. My mother calls me. House phone, ring. Hello? Are you seeing what's happening? No, I'm in bed. Turn on the fucking TV. Okay. Turn it on. Oh, shit. Okay. Whatever. Fast forward. I show up the 13th to MEPS. They're like, oh, no. All these Marines are shipping out. Blah, blah, blah. You're not going. Go back home. Come back Friday. This was a Tuesday. No, it was a Thursday. September 13th was a Tuesday. Come back tomorrow, which was Friday. I came back the next day. They were like, oh, you're not going. All these people are leaving. Okay, well, I have orders. It's fine. They'll get it. Come back Monday. Like, follow Monday. So I come back Monday. Now, Friday, they tell me, hey, don't bring anything. Don't bring your ID. Don't bring your keys. I had all this shit. I'm like, okay. So that Friday, I'm standing outside smoking. And there's this dude that's like, hey, do you want to write me when I'm at boot camp? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, write me. Here's my address. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, where are you going to be? And he's like, Kuwait. And so he's like, yeah, I got these orders in August. Right? This dude says he's got all orders to go to Kuwait in August. We're in September. So he's shipping out. So he's like, oh, can you please write me? You're cute, blah, blah, blah. Because that's what people did. You wanted to write, Okay. I took the information. Go back that Monday. They were like, okay, we're going. So we go to the airport. I was like, well, I don't have an ID. And I was like, you told me not to bring my ID. They were like, oh, shit. Okay. So they make me this. I still have it. They make me this, like, temporary ID card, take a Polaroid picture of me. I'm wearing a FUBU sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
Cut it in a square. I go to BWI. They have a half picture of my license because they were side profiles back in the day if you were under 21. And they're like, no. Hell no. You can't do this. I'm like, clearly, but they, whatever. So go back to my unit, blah, blah, blah. I'm in my unit for 4 years. Okay. From 2001 to 2005. Never, like, I get ship dates, but then they're like, oh, no, don't. That's not it. Whatever.
Where were you stationed again?
I was in Edgewood because
okay.
I lived, it was National Guard. So I go to the armory in Edgewood and drive home. Whatever. The fact that that dude that asked me for my information, phone number, all that said he got orders in August. I don't know who this dude is. I never, like, hit him up. But that one was my first instinct that this wasn't real or was planned. Then just watching the footage, you know, I went to the World Trade Center when I was a kid because Home Alone, because Macaulay Culkin did it. And my mom, she was doing bus trips with these people there. I was like, I want to go to the World Trade Center. I want to go to the World Trade Center. Blah. Went there. Lovely. And then just to see it go like, this isn't. And then just the chatter that I heard just while I was in my unit around, oh, we're going to go to so-and-so soon. Da, da, da. This sounds like all this shit's in place already. Why is it in place? Yeah. So, and just when you look at it, it looks fake.
So are you, when you say the footage, like looking fake, you mean like you think there was like some type of like,
I think it was
explosives?
a drone, but there was definitely explosives. Mm-hmm. Everyone's already seen, like people who are in that industry has already said that's a fucking, when they blew up Donald Trump's casino, 2 years ago in New Jersey, it was the same shit.
Yeah.
We watched demolitions, like people put those on, like live demolition of fucking, what was the Stardust? Remember when they blew up Stardust in Vegas?
Vaguely.
Stardust Casino. They blew it up in Vegas. I don't know what year it was, but I remember seeing like charges come out on the sides. Like each floor was wired.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's like, and in hindsight, once you look at it, because it wasn't until like 2008 when I started thinking like, this is some bullshit.
And then you have Building 7, of course, which was never hit by a plane or anything, but
at all. They said it collapsed before it did.
Yeah,
like that
I didn't
whole
even
thing.
know that. That's fucking
yeah,
crazy.
Like they're like Building 7 just collapsed. It's in the background. Literally 30 seconds. Like, oh, it was on a delay, but it was like more like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and so it wasn't a delay because nobody was doing delays like that. So fucking stop. And it was just like, and that was British, so their shit must be on. You know, it was just.
But what do you think the agenda was? Do you think it's all part of some massive plan to get like World War III rolling? Which I believe.
No, I just think
oil.
Because now I'm seeing it in random pictures. Like I took a picture frame out the other day to give my sister the picture frame to put the picture of my son in, and it was me and my ex-boyfriend prom picture.
Oh.
Theme was Baltimore Harbor. This was like May 2001. World Trade Center's in the back. I'm like, that's not even Baltimore, but okay. I never noticed it. How just like the show that just, I don't, it's a feeling for me. Like we know, I don't know what I don't know what the end game was.
I mean, do you think it was just a military like industrial complex?
No, people say that it was some like spiritual shit. Like black cubes and all that, and I'm like maybe, but I don't know.
Oh shit! You know about the black cube of Saturn? Hell yeah, that's what
right. And that's basically what they look like when they collapse. And if you, because if you've ever been to the Freedom Tower and walked around that whole park, there's 2 black holes, square holes in the ground with all the names, and it's like really because I just know the trajectory of my life changed after that.
I'm getting fucking chills. I got it.
I'm literally saying I don't know that I would be a comedian if that shit had never happened. Right. Because I was supposed to go into the army 2 days after it.
Jesus Christ.
I still went in the army, but shit was fucked up. And it's like, I don't know, but it's still like.
So thank you, George W. Bush.
It could have very well been, you know, because I'm kind of with you. Like I think that the motive was, to me, it seems fairly clear that we needed a reason to justify going into the Middle East and kind of ringing. I mean, it was obvious, like.
But that's really, I feel like we did, but it's like there was also it was a spiritual thing.
Yeah, it's almost I do
because we could have ran Iraq anyway.
Yeah,
You know, we could have found any reason to go in there.
yeah. It is kind of it is
We
kind
were
of
already
a dicey.
in there. I think that W1 was pissed that we didn't get him the first time. And what happened? W2, we got him.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Obama or was that W2?
Obama got him.
Out of the hole.
You're talking about Osama bin Laden?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was killed in the Obama administration.
Okay.
But I mean, we went looking for him under W2. You know what I mean?
Yes, he had porn, drugs, and bitches.
Because I feel like W1 told his son, "No, get that motherfucker." Because it was a thing that you never did.
Okay, I can see that. I see right away. My brain goes to the extremes where I'm just like,
But that's-
human sacrifice is always happening.
No,
and that's part of
but
it.
I swear, that's what opened the door to the Mandela Effect.
Yes, yeah.
Because that was never a thing. And like I said, it starts with Berenstain Bears.
I'm sorry. I just love that it starts. And I believe it too.
That's
It's
the
like,
first,
yeah.
that's the most like
Yeah.
known because, okay, I worked in a library since I was 14. That was my first job, Harford County Public Library. I also, Berenstain Bears was my favorite book as a child. I learned how to spell that shit. Okay? 100% like through and through. Yes, I know this. I like these books. Boom. And then it just changed to Stain. And it was Berenstein. It was always German.
Right.
I knew how to spell that shit more than my last name because I read it and it was in cursive and all that shit. And so when that happened and they were like, "Oh, you have to accept this." What?
Right.
Because it looks crazy.
Again, blame the Jews. Brainstein. I don't know.
No, well, the story was something about Germany and they were Jewish, and maybe that it makes sense. It made
I don't
sense as
know.
to why you might have wanted to change it, but that's not how it was in the fucking 90s.
Right, but so they're trying to say that it's been that way like all
Yeah,
along.
it has
Wow.
not.
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, so what is the exact way you say it again?
Berenstein.
Berenstein. Right, I used to
And
call
then
him
what's
that
the
too.
new? So the old spelling was ST what? EIN?
Stein.
Stein.
Berenstain.
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 STAIN is what they're saying
Yes,
now?
it was Berenstain, but it's like STEIN. Now it's an A,
Berenstain
which
Bears.
doesn't even go together.
Right.
Like that doesn't even like
It doesn't even sound cool.
logistically, English language, it doesn't go to it. Like, okay, let's say you did change that shit during World War II. Okay, well, why is it Steen now? Berenstein Bears was what it was.
Right.
You said Berenstain, you couldn't fucking read. Bitch, it's E, it's Steen. You stupid bitch, you can't read. That's what it was in the 90s. I like the Berenstain Bears. Bitch, what? No.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring.
No,
to
it doesn't.
It's like,
It was Berenstein.
I'm sorry. It's fucking hilarious.
No, it's seriously like,
yeah.
you know,
So you're thinking, because with the Mandela Effect, what are the other examples here?
Well,
there's
it's
so
Mandela
many.
himself, right? Because some people say that he was shot or something before.
no, they say
or-
he died in jail, that he never got
Right.
out.
But he passed away in his 80s or something, or
And
recently,
he was
right?
out
Or
because
maybe-
Obama was at his funeral.
Yeah.
But there's people who, like, I specifically remember hearing him die in jail. Like, I'll say Richard Belzer. That's the newest one. I remember them saying Richard Belzer died
Who's
in like
Richard
20.
Belzer? I'm
He
sorry.
was he was on Law and Order.
Oh.
He was another shit talking. He used to wear those glasses all the time.
Oh, yeah, he
He
just
also was on
died.
Homicide.
No,
He
Finn.
was filmed
Yeah,
in
he was on
Baltimore.
Homicide.
Oh,
What was
okay.
his name on Law and
Munch.
Order?
Munch.
Munch.
Yeah,
And
he just
he played
died,
the same
right?
character
He
on
just
Homicide
died.
too. He's Munch on both.
But like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember 2018-ish because I didn't know he was a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I found out he was a comedian.
You know what? When he died, I swear to God, recently this week, I was
I
like,
already
didn't
knew
that
he was a
motherfucker
comedian.
die before? Didn't he,
Right.
like, a couple
And
years
so
ago?
when I heard this, I immediately went on Reddit
Yes. That's
to see
I
if
love
other
you.
people and people were posting within 4 hours. Like, I thought he died in 2018,
Yes.
2017.
That's
and it's like,
crazy.
I only know he's a comedian because when he died the first time, I didn't know he was a comedian. that came up with Richard Lewis.
swear
and
to God,
shit.
I thought he
I
died
didn't know
too.
that.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I thought he died years ago. And the
getting
fact
chilled
that
right now.
I said, I'm going to go on Reddit to prove that I'm not fucking crazy. Went on there, boom, boom, boom. I remember multiple people. So I'm not crazy.
Right.
I don't know what this is because I feel like, just like, okay,
It's the black cube.
the other famous one is Forrest Gump, the quote.
The box of chocolates.
What's Forrest Gump's, yes, what's the most famous quote?
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
What is it now?
Is it not that?
No.
You never know what you're gonna get next, or
Life is like a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you're going to get.
What did I say?
You said was.
Mom always said life.
yeah.
When did this
Life
Mandela
is,
effect
no.
come?
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Now it's was.
Oh, they're saying it is was now?
Was.
No.
What?
Yes.
No
Google
fucking
it.
way.
You got a computer right there. Fucking Google it.
Life was.
Life was like a box of chocolates. Like, that doesn't even sound right.
Yeah. It's like, wow, that's fucking crazy because I distinctly
That's
remember.
the only
like,
one that I can tell people
Yeah.
for sure. Say that quote.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
What's the Field of Dreams quote?
I don't think I ever saw that one. Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
Oh, okay.
If
I've
you
heard that
build it,
before.
he will come.
Oh, come on.
Dude,
Well, even I've heard if they build
I'm telling
it-
you. I'm
if-
telling you. We know what the fuck
they
we
will
heard,
come.
and we're not crazy. And that's what I'm saying.
But why? Why do you think that?
I don't know that
crazy.
other than like the people are like, you can jump Thailand. I don't fucking know. It's weird
Right.
and I hate it. And I just want to chill and live like a normal fucking person. But it's like, I don't,
Yeah.
there's certain shit you can't ignore.
Right. There, I truly believe that there are like shifting timelines and stuff like that. And I get deja
And
vu
it
all
started,
the time.
no, and deja vu, all that shit is like real.
Yeah, it's
Like
fucking
when you're
crazy.
literally like, I've lived this moment before and you feel it. You
Yes.
get goosebumps. You're like,
That's why, like, I've never done DMT before, but people have
Yeah, I'm not gonna
described
do
like
it.
doing DMT where they literally go to a different dimension and they live like an entire lifetime.
is this a
And
bathroom?
I'm like, oh no, yeah, we'll wrap it up
so
soon. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I was just wondering.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently his life was like a box of chocolates. Was.
What? No way. No fucking
Look
way.
up the Field of Dreams shit.
The Field of Dreams one is a little different because I think that's a Bible quote, and I think in the Bible it's "He will come,"
Okay.
and
All
I
right.
think in the movie they say "They will come."
Yes.
'Cause that's what I just found out. But life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. And it was Berenstein Bears. I don't give a
See,
fuck
I don't
what
know
anybody says.
Berenstein Bears.
Look up Berenstein Bears Mandela Effect. I don't want to take you on a deep dive tonight. Like, we're going to have to, like...
No, I love this shit. Like, yeah, like if you come on again, like I want to talk about the black cube more, but it really scares me. There's a lot going on.
Like,
with,
people
Saturn.
say that Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown never went to Mecca. And I'm like, I remember that shit on the episode. And people are like, they never went. Bullshit.
and Bobby Brown's reality show, or was that did they?
I
have
don't
their
know
own-
where it was, if it was being Bobby Brown or something, but I remember them going to Mecca.
Wow.
And I guess they were married and she was Whitney Houston and they like, you can do it. You know?
So yeah,
Yeah, it's fucking sketchy, dude.
It's all sketchy and I'm done.
yeah.
I'm checked out. I don't care anymore. I'm just like, I just want to live my life and like,
I'll tell you what I'm doing tonight. I'm watching a fucking 9/11 documentary, baby. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since I checked in.
loose change.
Loose change.
I've
all
never
good
watched
shit.
that. I've always yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, because we know. I drove by the Pentagon the other day and I looked. I remember when it happened, I was like, that doesn't look like a plane. But now I'm looking at it and like all of that shit would have been wrecked.
Even the way that the Pentagon, I don't know the specifics, is laid out is like an occult sort of like on a ley line or something.
a
and the way
pentagram.
it's exactly. And it's just like there's lots at DC. Just like I kind of want to go to DC and check
No,
out like of
DC, like,
Masonic imagery.
if you look at the maps of DC, it's a Nazi sign.
Oh, I didn't
So,
know that.
like,
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Whoa.
We're going to have to do a part 2 of this.
Yes.
Yes,
That
we
would be
shall.
fucking awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Oh, yeah. Like, are we going to watch the MILF show for a minute? Or we have time?
oh, it's okay. Like I feel bad. Like I don't want to keep you and stuff. Like if you are.
Let's do this again next Wednesday.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
This
there
is
you go.
literally on my way home from work. I don't
Awesome.
have a
Fuck yeah.
problem.
You're an awesome guest because like you have like a lot of knowledge and stuff about this stuff, and like you keep it fucking real. And I love that. Like
Cool. Part 2, we got MILF Manor.
yes, because
We got other-
We're gonna
and I
discuss
swear
this.
it goes. It's a little info-warlocky too because I just think that there's an agenda being pushed when it comes to like incestuous type things, and there's
Yeah.
just like some hilarious stuff in that.
well, the
show, but-
stepmom porn shit, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, but these are
Like-
like actual mothers competing on a show with their sons, where like they're trying to like date each other's moms and sons, and yeah,
weird,
it's just
bro.
yeah, but it's also fucking hilarious.
Are you even interested? Oh, I'm not interested in 20-year-olds. At
Yeah.
40 years old, I'm not.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Like, I call this dude at work Freddie because he looks like Freddie Prinze, but he's like 21. And he's like, who's that? Look it up, bro. And then he looked it up. He's like, I see it. Yeah.
yeah,
What do you want? He's a child to me.
right.
You know? He was like, we went to a business trip and some dude said some shit and I was like, hey, no. I wasn't like, I'm a mom.
At
Hell no.
At my open mic at the Crown, which is going to be every Tuesday, I think, for the most part, with karaoke afterward. But I had a blast hanging out during karaoke afterward. But the MICA students, they literally look like children to me now. Like
my
like
God.
the 21-year-olds. I'm just like, oh my God, like you are just
Not
like, are you in the 8th grade? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like yeah. But yeah, let's totally do this next Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll do it
If,
next Wednesday.
yeah.
This was fun.
Awesome.
I will.
Do you have
try
anything you
get-
want to plug? Like sometimes I release this like a week or two later, but
what
do you
am
have
I
anything
doing?
in the next like, month
I'm
or
with
so?
Pablo Francisco,
Yes.
the DC Comedy Loft, April 27th through 29th.
Nice.
Get it?
Yes.
You know, because Pablo's always the shit.
That's sick.
Badass.
I remember Pablo.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Way
I
back,
love
he's a
it.
legend.
Pablo's great.
He's
A
hilarious.
fucking legend.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
really
why I
cool.
said, as long as I've been in comedy, like, I wouldn't open for anybody else.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
He
Yeah.
taught me the game, and that's my buddy. So,
I'll pop
yeah.
on some
Yeah.
Pablo
So,
Francisco.
yeah,
and I used to watch him all the time back in the
DCComedyLoft.com.
day.
Yeah. Awesome. Hell
Sweet.
yeah. I haven't been there yet. I gotta go check that out. Like, is it a newer club or?
No, it's been there.
Oh, again, yeah. But yeah.
It's like an
Mandela
old-
Effect.
Do you have anything you want to plug? I always forget. Oh, like,
Oh, sure.
guys.
Well, at LFTS Podcast, live from the studio podcast, we just celebrated our 300th episode. I do with Eric Glazer.
yes.
7 years running.
Eric Glazer's still around.
Yeah, he does the
Oh
podcast
my
every
God.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bought a
You
house.
should have a big podcast like party or something with everybody, and we could be like, "Oh my God, you're still
You still exist?
I
Well,
miss
that's the
Eric
thing.
Glazer, man.
Our first episode was February 25th, 2016, which is cool because we recorded our 300th episode on the 27th of this month, so it was almost exactly 7 years to the day. But yeah, so 7 years ago, the scene was different. It just there were so many different people that aren't around anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And just like, obviously that was well before COVID and a lot of people dropped off because of that. So like you go through old episodes and you see a bunch of guests we used to have on and like, oh, this person, I don't even know if they still
Wow.
exist anymore. But like, yes, that was a cool thing at LFTS Podcast. The band's going to be at the Horse on St. Patty's Day in Fells Point.
What's your name?
Oh
Is-
man, I got my
Sophomore.
fucking kids that night.
Sophomore?
No.
Yeah, sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
And yeah, we're at the Horse you came in on in Fells Point. St.
Okay.
Patty's Day, laddie. 5 to 9. The trio. Yeah, at Sophomore MD, we got a new song coming out this month. So check it
Awesome.
out.
Are you on Spotify?
Yep. Mhm.
Sophomore.
Sophomore,
like
yes.
sophomore in high. Okay.
Sophomore in high school.
I'm gonna listen to your shit on the way home.
Please do.
Yeah,
And
I
will.
this is a good Mandela effect for you because assuming you've at least graduated high school, but a lot of people graduate in college as well. You've been a sophomore twice in your life. You should know how to spell it. It's 3 O's.
That's
it's
true.
3 O's. Everyone thinks it's sophomore. It's sophomore. It's
Right.
like, dude, you spent 2 years of your life probably being this thing and you don't know how to spell it.
Right.
You got to work harder. I always tell people, look, follow us. If you can't spell it, don't follow us. We don't need dumb fans.
Right.
We don't need dumb fans. But yeah, that's it. Anything else, guys? What's going on?
Yeah. Just my open mic on Tuesdays at the Crown. Come on out for the open mic comedy. And yeah, stay for the karaoke.
Hey.
But thank you guys. This is InfoWarlocks, and remember, there is a war on for your magic.